I really cannot believe that I did not at all understand what it meant to to feel difficult feelings and still do the thing. Like when people say you have to feel the fear and just do it anyway, I did not know what that meant until I, st- I started doing it. Like, it was one of those things where like I'd always hear it and like logically I know what it means and I thought like I was kind of doing it. Turns out I fucking wasn't. Because check this one. I run away from everything. I do not do anything that I don't want to do. Not all the time. Like sometimes I'm good at like, okay, like this feels really uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway, or like this feels like something that is scary, but I'm going to do it. But like the second I would physically feel that resistance in my body, or like physically feel anxious, or just like that heaviness, that like just whatever it was, just the resistance in my body, like the physical feeling of it, when I felt that, I was just kind of like, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Hey, baby, you're avoidant. Hey, what the hell are you doing? And how many things have you stopped yourself from doing? And how much have you held yourself back from by doing that? Hello? Here's the gag. Here's the gag that I, for whatever reason in my life, have just never comprehended. I have to sit with the anxiety. I have to sit with the sick feeling. I have to sit with that resistance and that pain and that like overwhelming desire not to do something. And I have to do the thing while I feel that. It's not try and push that away. It's not try and justify it. It's not try and logically figure out what it is. It's not like maybe that's what I was doing. Maybe I was just like, what's the word? Logicalize is not a word. Please tell me the word I'm looking for. Maybe that whole time I really was just trying to think my way out of that scenario, or like mentally be like, I don't feel this, I don't feel this, push this away, I don't feel this. But that's actually not helpful at all. I thought I was like amping myself up to do things, and I thought that I was like I should like trying to like having these feelings and trying to make it easier for myself. But essentially what I was doing is just pushing those feelings away and ignoring them and not actually sitting with them and feeling them. Like I was thinking my way out of them. So I'd be like the fear would come up and the anxiety would come up and I would almost get like manic in the sense of I would be like, okay, I can't think this, I can't feel this, I have to move past this, like ignore, 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 move past and do the thing, move past and do whatever. So then I was, because I wasn't actually feeling the things and learning how to behave and learning how to move and learning how to do things with that feeling, the stronger that feeling got, the more I would just convince myself not to do something, or the more I would avoid doing something. I really don't know if this is making any sense, but essentially, like, I have not taught myself how to move forwards and do things while still in this state of fear and anxiety. Like, I just would not let myself feel the fear and anxiety, and therefore, I've never learnt. Well, it's real self discipline, really, isn't it? Like, I've never learned. I have good self discipline in a lot of ways, but obviously, in this way, when it comes to like doing something that actually makes you feel physically ill and physically sick, my automatic response was, well, maybe like I feel this way for a reason, and maybe I'm not supposed to do this thing, and so I just won't do it. But I'm really learning how much I've been putting off and how much I've been avoiding and how many things I haven't done because of that feeling and because I've never taught myself to cope with that feeling. I guess that's what it is. Like all of my feelings, I've just used escapism my whole life. Let's be honest. I think I'm really good at having a feeling and like journaling on it, for example, like having the feeling, journaling on it, figuring out what it is, figuring out where it's coming from and how I can get rid of it. I think that's where my brain has always been, is how can I get rid of this? How can I overcome this? How can I like just get rid of this thing or this feeling rather than feeling it, rather than actually sitting with it and being with it and feeling it in my body. And that has meant that I really don't know how to cope with something, or like I can't do hard things without needing some kind of distraction at the same time or immediately afterwards. I have never taught myself to safely feel anxiety or resistance. It means that when I do feel it, I almost get into this like manic state and this like desperate state to, like, my brain looks for the next comfortable thing. And sometimes I do it without even knowing I'm doing it, obviously. Like, I've only just become aware of this. But my brain would like look for the next comfortable thing. Like, I would do something hard that I felt resistance to, and then the rest of the day my body would shut down and I'd like have to watch TV for the rest of the day because I just couldn't, like, that was it. Like, I'd reached my maximum and like I couldn't cope with the feeling of I've just done something scary. Now I need to like fully distract myself. And I think that sometimes that's okay. Like, we have to teach our nervous system step by step. Like, this is not something that's going to change overnight. It's a something that you have to consistently keep facing. But I really am trying to practice feeling not good about something and feeling really anxious about something or feeling a lot of resistance to something and still doing it. Like, physically feeling that in my body and doing the thing at the same time as feeling that. Not feeling that in my body and being like, okay, let's push this aside for now and just do the thing. Or not feeling that in my body and just trying to suppress it. Like, actually feeling the thing in my body while I'm doing the thing I don't want to do. And like allowing those feelings to be there while I carry on with my day. And knowing that like I'm alive and I'm safe and it's okay and I can feel those things and carry on with my day, rather than I feel these things so I'm going to shut down and just like I don't know how to handle this and like I don't know what to do with this. I'm actually feeling this right now because I'm learning Spanish. I have a couple of like little pen pals, let's say, but some friends who found me through my TikTok, and like they're native Spanish speakers, they want to practice English, I want to practice Spanish, so we like text or we message. And then today I did a video call with one of them. Super sweet girl, I love her so much, she's so lovely. So like in this call, like I'm practicing Spanish, she's practicing English, like we're having a conversation, partly Spanish, partly English. I felt so nervous beforehand, and such a huge part of me just wanted to say no so badly to doing this. And such a huge part of me was like, oh, well, I've got this to do and I've got this to do, and like, this doesn't really align with this, like, I need to use this time for this, etc. Like, trying to avoid it at all costs. And I was like, babe, no, like, we need to do something. we need to start doing things, and we need to start saying yes to things that we want to say no to. So I said yes. We've had this call, it was so lovely. I was fine during the call, but now I've come off the call. Like, I'm recording this like immediately after. I feel so anxious. I can't stop thinking about all the things I misunderstood. I can't stop thinking about everything that like I may have said wrong. I can't stop thinking about, like, I know there's so many times she asked me something in Spanish and I misunderstood what she was asking me and I responded incorrectly. Like, I know. And I've been thinking about that, and I just feel, even like hanging up, like I felt like I ended the conversation, I ended the call, and I felt anxious about ending the conversation, ending the call. I feel like I was a bit abrupt, like, I don't know. Just overthinking, okay? Welcome to the Overthought podcast. Immediately after that, my brain was in like overload, overthinking these things, and my body wanted to shut down so badly. Like, I wanted to go downstairs and just watch TV. In my head, I was like, right, you've done something hard, so now you just go downstairs and watch TV and you don't do anything for the rest of the day. Hey, we're never gonna get anywhere if we keep doing that. Like, that's not how this is gonna work. And I think it really is just a case of being able to feel that horrible, icky, anxious, those hard feelings, and being able to feel them and carry on. It's the same as like people, I watched a TikTok a while ago of a girl saying like, you can feel tired and still do something. And this like changed my brain chemistry. What do you mean I can feel tired and still do something? What do you mean I can feel tired and just fucking carry on anyway. What? That's crazy, but you're so right. You're so right. I can feel tired and I can still do this. I can feel tired and I can still go to the gym. I can feel tired and I can still, like, it's just, I don't even want to say it's, I suppose it is self discipline, but also, like, another conversation I had recently, and like, this is a belief that I've had for a while, is that I don't believe there's any such thing as laziness. I really don't believe in laziness. I don't believe it's a real thing. I believe that when we feel that badly about doing something and when we stop ourselves from doing something, it's not laziness and it's not lack of self-discipline. It's our brains freaking out and trying to hold us back. And it's the fact that we're not conscious of all of the limiting beliefs and all of the fears that we have ingrained into our brain and into our nervous system, and we therefore like don't know how to navigate them, and we don't know when we're not navigating them until we become conscious of them. Like, we don't know that something needs to change until we become conscious that something needs to change, and then it is up to us to make the change. Like, we can then obviously decide what we want to do when we figured out that we're behaving in a way we don't want to behave. But that, to me, like, it really did change my brain chemistry. And I think this is a lot to do with possibly like upbringing and environment as well. Like, I was not taught how to process emotions. Like, that's something I've had to learn to do by myself. Emotional regulation is not taught, I guess, and unless your elders teach it to you, you're not going to learn it. Like, the emotional regulation is not something I've ever learned, and I'm just now learning it properly. I really thought I'd like learn the major aspects of it. Turns out I fucking haven't, because I like let my emotions control what I do so much, and I let feelings in my body control what I do so much, and I didn't even realize that that's not what you're supposed to do. I really didn't realize that you're not necessarily supposed to let your feelings like control how you approach things or control how you go about your day. I really did not understand that was how it works. That's not something I've ever been taught. I'm now just learning this. And like, not in a way that's like ignoring them, because I think that's what I was doing before, where like I would force myself to move past things. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, in the past, I would have felt this kind of anxiety, realized that I was feeling anxiety, realized that I was holding myself back. I feel like how I would respond to that is overly hyping myself up, just pushing that feeling away and being like, no, like forcing myself. I guess that's the difference. Is like, I used to force myself to do things and push away the feelings rather than doing them with the feelings that I have. I think that's what the difference is. And I think that's why I used to burn out so much all the time, because I would, rather than acknowledge how I'm feeling and move at a slow pace with these feelings, and like move at a mindful pace, like move intentionally with these feelings, genuinely acknowledging for myself, I feel anxious right now, it's okay that I feel anxious, I'm gonna do this anyway. I would force myself like away from the feeling and force myself to be in a different mental space than what I was feeling. And I think that's why I would burn out, because I wasn't actually feeling the feelings, I was pushing through them. I really don't know if I'm explaining this well or making any sense, but I've really, really learned how powerful this is now, and I'm really teaching myself to feel these difficult feelings and carry on. To feel the anxiety, to feel the pit in my stomach, to feel whatever, like the heaviness in my chest, to feel all of these things and to keep moving with those feelings in my body, to know that they are there, to be feeling them, but not letting them decide my next choice, not letting my feelings choose for me. My gorgeous, lovely angel people, I would very briefly like to interrupt this episode to just remind you that you can rate this podcast, review this podcast, follow this podcast, subscribe to this podcast on all platforms, and by doing that, you really help to push this podcast out so that we can build this beautiful community of like-minded beings where we can all just kiki and have the best time all together. How cute. Just a reminder, thank you so much, I love you so much, and back to today's episode. And I think this is building so much self-confidence because it's kind of making me realize that, like, I feel like I used to be scared about whether or not I would commit to something. Like, I would, let's say I'd write a to-do list for the next day, and the night before I'd be like, almost like, okay, like, you have to do it. You have to get up and you have to do it. Like, there's no excuses, you have to do it. If you don't do it, you're a piece of shit. You you have to do these things. And rather than like having to hype myself up, I'm coming to terms with this understanding that I am going to do it. I don't need to hype myself up. I don't need to force myself. I don't need to push myself. I'm not a piece of shit if I don't do it. I don't have issues with self-trust. Like, I don't have issues with holding myself accountable because I've learned that even if I get up the next morning and I don't feel like it, I've learned that I cannot feel like it and still do it. And it's not this push and this force anymore. It's this, it's just choosing. That's what it is. It's like, it's not pushing and forcing my way through it. It's just choosing to do both. Choosing to feel shit and still do the thing. It's not trying not to feel the hard feelings and trying to just do. It's doing both. This is life-changing stuff. Call me crazy. Like, who, like, did everybody know this? Is this something everyone's just doing and no one talks about? Why did no one tell me that this is what we were doing? This would have made everything so much easier for me. Why have we all kept this a secret? I cannot believe that this is not the mentality that I've had because it's making my life so much easier. I really feel like I didn't finish what I was saying about confidence, but like, it's making me trust myself. It's making me realize that when I say I'm going to do something, I am going to do it. Because I've now learned that even if I feel shit, I can still do it. Even if I don't want to do it, I can still do it. And I can choose to still do it without forcing and pushing myself and burning myself out. I'm just choosing to move mindfully in my feelings. I really hope that this is making sense and that you're catching my vibes. But essentially, like, guess what? We can feel bad and still do things. It really is just a choice. And I will say, what I think has really helped me is doing EFT. I really think that everything, all the feelings that we don't want to feel, and like all the reasons that we ever feel resistance to something, all the reasons that we stop ourselves from doing something, like, I really believe that everything comes back to self-worth. And I really do believe that the only reason we struggle with things, it all, like, in some way, when we peel back all the layers, comes back down to self-worth. And I have been doing so much EFT, which, if you don't know what EFT is, it's tapping on certain meridian points on your body to release emotional blockages, to release things that are trapped in your nervous system, to rewire your subconscious mind, like, etc. Essentially, it helps you to, like, rewire your nervous system, rewire your brain, so that these deeper down wounds that are holding you back and stopping you without you consciously realizing it are just not, like, they stop feeling so intense in your body and they stop having an impact on you, really. And I really think that because I've been doing so much work on my self-worth through EFT, I've done so many sessions just on my self-worth and the different ways I feel unworthy. And I feel like that's uprooting so much of my deeper insecurities and deeper anxieties, and therefore making it easier for me to move in this direction of just doing things, like, literally just doing things. I think that's why this has all become so conscious to me, and why I've become so conscious of this way of being and been able to, like, change it, is because I've been doing so much work on my self-worth and, like, doing so much work on myself internally. I really do think, like, it's obvious that your internal work is what transpires outwards. Obviously, that's how everything works. That's how the universe works. But like, it is so crazy that when you actually do the deeper work on yourself, you really do experience the changes, and you really do start to show up differently and behave differently and choose things differently. And I do really think that that's why I've started to change the way I behave so much and started to change the way I show up so much. And it really is just practice as well. Like, this is something that I'm really consciously practicing. I'm really consciously practicing choosing how I want to be, like really consciously practicing making choices that aren't just dictated by my feelings and by what I feel in my body. And it, so much of it as well, comes down to just not overthink, like catching myself overthinking. And this is a control thing for 100%. This is a, like, I overthink because I want to control. I want to feel in control of every situation because that's how I feel safe. And me overthinking is me like trying to control how I'm perceived, trying to control how, like, well, that's it really, trying to control how I'm perceived and trying to control my safety in the situation. And it's also like just being able to understand that you can't actually control that. You can't control everything. And therefore, like, just no matter what you're overthinking up here, just not choosing to listen to that, choosing to let that be what it is, and choosing to acknowledge that that is separate. Like, this is not truth. What's going on in your brain is not truth unless you make it truth. Nothing is true unless we make it true. Nothing is true unless we give it meaning. Nothing means anything unless we choose to give it meaning. And just being okay with, like, choosing not to give that meaning. Being okay with choosing not to let whatever spiral I'm having mean anything, and not giving it any kind of attachment, not attaching myself to it, and not making it something that is true in my reality. Understanding that when my thoughts spiral like that, and when I start to overthink things, when I start to worry about things, understanding that that is just my brain having a reaction to me doing something uncomfortable. What I'm actually thinking is not true, and therefore I can do whatever I want. I can carry on moving forwards and do whatever I want because I just can't, like, and it doesn't mean anything. It's fine, like, it's safe and it's fine, and I'm gonna be alive at the end of it, and it's literally gonna be fine. Like, even that, just being able to detach from what you are telling yourself is true, and knowing that what you're telling yourself is true is only true if you want it to be true. Like, your own inner perception and inner perspective is the only thing you're experiencing. You are not experiencing anybody else's perception or perspective. So, like, make it a perspective that you want to have. Make it a perspective that helps you to grow and evolve in your life and create a life that you want for yourself. So, like, letting your thoughts spiral, letting yourself feel things in your body that are uncomfortable, and still choosing to do the things that you want to do, still choosing to make changes, letting it be hard and still choosing to do it. Letting it be hard and, like, knowing it only feels hard because my brain's freaking out. It only feels hard because I'm afraid of being in a place that is not my safe space. Because even knowing that the only reason you're freaking out is because you're outside of your comfort zone is not legitimate safety. Your comfort zone is just what you've trained yourself to be safe. And that's why your body and your brain freak out, because your nervous system experiences something different, and that, like, different is not unsafe. The way your body and brain have trained themselves to be safe in the place that you are now, like that, like, moving out of that place, you're not actually physically unsafe, and nothing bad is actually physically going to happen. Obviously, take this with a pinch of salt. Like, obviously there are situations where we are in danger, but, like, when you know and you're smart and you know you're not in danger, let's all use our common sense as I'm saying this, but when you know that you're moving yourself into a situation that actually is not life-threatening, not physically dangerous, it's just uncomfortable and different, you can become conscious of the fact that you're freaking out internally, mentally and physically, just because it's uncomfortable. And therefore, you can tell yourself, okay, like, I feel uncomfortable right now, and that's okay, and it's safe for me to feel uncomfortable, but I can keep doing the next thing. Like, I can still do it. I can still choose to do it in this moment, even though I feel it feels uncomfortable and this feels out of my comfort zone. I can still do it. And like, I'm gonna be alive at the end of it. I'm gonna be fine at the end of it. Like, whatever we think the worst scenario is actually A, probably not gonna happen, and B, actually completely fine. Like, even to the extent, I talked about this in my last episode, but like, embarrassment was such a huge thing for me. And like, I don't know why we think of embarrassment as such a huge thing. I mean, I do know why we think about embarrassment as this huge thing, because sometimes it feels like it is the end of the world. But like, even I've really learned that even if I am embarrassed, I can feel embarrassed and I'm actually okay. Like, I can feel embarrassed and I'm still alive, and I can feel embarrassed and I can let myself feel embarrassed in my body, and then I move, like, and then what? Like, it's like I just feel embarrassed. That is it. Like, it's just a feeling of embarrassment. That's it. That's all it is. It's just a feeling. It's just the feeling of being embarrassed. There's no more to it. Like, what? Like, that's literally it. Like, I don't even know where else to go with that sentence, because that is it. You feel embarrassed, and then what? And then what? Nothing really is gonna come of that if you don't let it. You can feel embarrassed and just carry the fuck on with this feeling of embarrassment, and nothing happens. It's literally like making friends with these feelings, making friends with like the embarrassment, making friends with the uncomfortableness, making friends with the resistance, and just being like, hey, like, I know you're there. I feel you. I feel you. Like, literally, I feel you. But like, I'm just gonna, like, we're just gonna carry on anyway. Like, I know you're there. I can feel you. You're doing your thing, but we are just gonna carry on anyway. And it's actually never that serious. Like, it really, really is not ever that serious. You just keep moving, and eventually you just learn a new comfort zone. You learn a new safety. You learn your nervous system regulates. The more you make these choices, it becomes natural, it becomes easy, and then it just becomes your life. Like, you just keep moving forwards in that direction, and nothing is actually ever that serious. This is definitely frontal lobe development also, I fear. I feel like a lot of this came into my brain over the past couple of years as my frontal lobe has developed. So like, but that's not to say wait for your frontal lobe to develop. You can still do the hard things. You can still do things that feel uncomfortable. And you're still going to be alive at the end of it. Like, that is so crazy. Like, we think the biggest threat ever in the world is us not being alive. Okay? When we do things that are hard, we are still gonna be alive. We're just alive with different feelings. We're just alive with difficult feelings. But hey, we're gonna survive and we're gonna be fine. Like, we're actually gonna be so okay. We just feel these uncomfortable feelings for... How long do feelings last? I think it's like a minute, 2 minutes? Is that a real thing? But like, and then what? And then what? Like, and then what? Like, tell me. I don't know. I don't know if any of this made sense. I don't know if you're picking up what I'm putting down, but that is just something that I've been on the vibe of recently. That's just something I've been exploring and experimenting with. Just feeling shit, feeling tired, things feeling hard, feeling uncomfortable, feeling anxious, feeling like everything in my being wants to sit on my bedroom floor like I am right now and just consume Trisha Paytas until the day is over, because that's more comfortable for me. Sometimes Trisha Paytas is helpful. Okay? Sometimes Trisha Paytas solves all my problems, but sometimes I need to solve my own problems, and I need to just get up and do something with these feelings that are hard. Just keep moving with my hard feelings. And you can keep moving with your hard feelings. And that is it. That's all I have to say. Well, thank you for listening, I guess. Let me know if it made any sense. If you are listening to this podcast, if you're enjoying this podcast, please let me know. Please, message me on Instagram or something. Just let me know you're here. Let me know the vibes. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. And I will be back next week.